Welcome to Hope is Here. My name is Greg Horn, and we will continue our conversation with Corbett Polk and Jamie Davis. They're going to be starting a new ministry here in Lexington on August 18th, and we're going to be sharing more details about that in this program. But Never Alone Widows, a wonderful faith-based ministry located in Atlanta, Georgia, and you all recently went on a retreat. Tell us a little bit about that. Jamie, I'll let you go first this time.
So I kind of came about looking for a retreat because I saw somebody on social media had gone on a widow's retreat. And so I was like, I wonder if that's something for me. Because our church doesn't really have anything for widows of our age. And so there's really not a big community there. And so I just did a quick Google search and came along to find Never Alone Widows, and found the retreat and did my application. And because I knew Corbett, I was like, hey, come with me. I don't want to go with myself. And so we signed up for this, and we got there, and we were meeting with some other people at the airport, and we were just like, how crazy is this? That we have no idea what this weekend entails, that we literally got on a plane because they said, come find some fellowship with other Christian widows that have young children at home. And we went. It was just blind faith. We said yes to the Lord. And it was just an amazing experience to hear other people's stories. And really, honestly, I went into the retreat feeling very weary, which is just so much more than tired. I think most people could agree with that, but just, decision fatigued, just grief fatigued, everything, working full time, being a solo parent full time. And so really that weekend, these ladies just breathed life back into me. And to have people pray for you that don't even know you, and pray over you and pray specific things for you is just amazing. And that doesn't even do it justice. But, we walked away from that weekend with a sense of community and truly feeling like we were never alone, because what we've talked about before is that the enemy likes to tell you that you're the only one dealing with this, nobody understands, and we were truly surrounded by people that did understand. I mean, the leaders of this retreat have walked this path, but there were also ladies there serving that have not walked the path, and I felt that honestly was even more inspiring, that they just had a heart for widows. And it just goes to show, the Bible says that, like, Jesus had a heart for widows. Like, he meets you where you are. And so that retreat was just all about kind of renewing your faith, renewing your hope, and coming back feeling loved.
Your experience, Corbett, went to the retreat. It's called Never Alone Widows, and the retreat, I want to specify, it's mainly more for widows with school-age children. Is that correct?
Well, the retreat we went on is, but
Okay.
I think they also have part of the ministry for heroes, like for policemen's wives and army wives and things like that. So they have that too, and the retreat is born out of Be Still Ministries. And I think Be Still started during the pandemic. So, and these group of ladies, I've joked with my friends, they're so authentic and transparent that if I didn't have children, I would be moving to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And I've been in church. I've been in great churches. But these ladies are, they talk about the pain. And they talk about walking through it and that there's hope on the other side of it. And it was beautiful. While our stories are very tragic, like you hear our stories and you think, golly, that is tragic. But you're sitting with 20 women who you had COVID, deaths, you had a few cancer, but then you had boating accidents and car accidents and heart attacks, and you had all kinds. And it didn't really matter what got you there. It just mattered that you knew. Like, you knew how they felt, right? And then this team of ladies that were widows knew how you felt, but had been distanced from it a little bit. So it's very interesting. Jamie and I have talked about, we sort of want somebody that's 5 years out from this to sort of know how you do it. Like, how do you raise children when you're single and grieving? And it's very challenging. And but for me, the retreat, yes, weary and decision-making weary. Goodness, when you're the only one making decisions, it's hard. And especially if that wasn't your role before. But we walked out of that airport, and these ladies rolled up in a big SUV and rolled down the window and screamed, "There's our girls." And at that point, I knew this was going to be okay. Yeah. And don't miss that the retreat is from a Thursday to a Sunday, because it mirrors Good Friday and Easter for them. And it's very intentional for them. This is not a pat you on the back, tomorrow's going to be better. This is like, let's walk through the hard and get to the other side. And it was beautiful. And they had a counselor for us there, and they're very well prepared to handle whatever we had for them.
Well, you had shared with me earlier that it was probably the most spiritual experience of your life.
It was. I can't tell you the secret stuff, but yeah, just the I've been in church, I've been in BSF, I've been in small groups. I mean, I've done the circuit, right? And but to have somebody say me too, and that Jesus loves you and never left you. You know, when Rod passed, I just held him and said, "Run to Jesus." And I know I'll see him again. But like, Jesus never left me. Even in the dark, like, Jesus never left me.
Somebody listening today, you need to know that. You may feel like you're alone, but I hope you heard the words of Corbett there, that Jesus, even as she was walking her husband, Rod, to the gates of heaven, that Jesus was always there. And Hebrews 13:8 is a verse we talk a lot about on Hope Is Here. It says that Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And I think that's kind of a common theme I've heard from both Jamie and Corbett, that God was with you as you walked through that. He's with you today, and you know that he will be with you there in the future. But I know you all want to help other people, and you've got this new ministry. There's actually 20 groups in 27 cities of Never Alone Widows, but you all were going to, with some help from some other friends, going to start a local group here on August 18th. Tell us a little bit about what people can expect on August 18th with your Never Alone Widows group here in Lexington.
So we're doing just a quick little meet and greet at Luna's Butterfly Cafe, just right on the Jessamine County line off Harrodsburg Road. It's going to be 6:30 to 8, and we're just hoping any all widows, any age, not necessarily have to have children at home still, will come out and just, have community, just really talk with one another. And then from there, we're partnering with Southland Christian Church to do a small group, but you don't have to be a member of the church to be involved. And we'll have kind of monthly meetings that will start in September. And then our hope is to maybe meet one more time each month as a social gathering that would maybe include children. I don't want to speak for Corbett and then another lady, April, that's working with us. But for myself, I've struggled with this a little bit because I don't have it all together. I don't have all the answers. And on the hard days, I can hear the enemy really say, like, how are you going to lead these women? And God just keeps on leading me back to the story of feeding the 5,000. And I am that little boy with that small basket of, 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And he's going to take whatever small thing that I have, and he's going to multiply it, and he's going to give it to the masses. And if my story, if one word that I say helps one person, then that's what it's all about.
And I think for us, like we've just talked about obedience, right? And we walked away from that retreat feeling like this was our calling. We have a choice in life, right? We have a choice that when you're dealt the hard, are you going to cling to the Lord, or are you going to not cling to the Lord? And we are clinging to the Lord, and we're going on this journey with the Lord. And when we got back home, so April, our friend that's going to partner with us, she had been to the conference in Atlanta, Georgia, and she's actually leaving for the retreat in the next few weeks. But she had raised her hand at the conference to start a group here. And the leader was telling me the story. The group they were like, we had no idea that Rachel Brown, she leads Be Still Ministries, was going to say, let's start Never Alone Locals. But she made a plug at the end of the conference, and the Lord knew she was going to make that plug, right? And 35 ladies raised their hand. And so it's all over the United States that these local groups are being born, and it's women in your community that have walked the path and are going to share the hope with others.
Well, we're excited for you all. Thank you for starting something new. And one of the things that we were talking about in between programs that you guys are just kind of learning to say yes. Mm-hmm. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, Corbett will tell you that I'm a little bit more of an introvert, and I have a hard time kind of sharing my story. So this radio show is well out of my comfort zone. But, again, it's just another way that God is showing up and, providing us the opportunity to get the word out. And so, I'm just saying yes to what God has to offer. And we're so thankful for it because we can reach more people by these doors opening. So he's saying this is an opportunity and we're jumping on it. So.
And you're learning to say yes in lots of areas of life, right? Getting out of your comfort zone, like going to this retreat and starting this group. And
I thought we were a little crazy because we were like, we don't know anybody. We don't know the itinerary. This could be a cult. And so those things did go through our mind, but the Lord surprised us. And, we just want to pay it forward.
Well, I hope that you will join him if you're in this community. It's Never Alone Widows. The website's neveralonewidows.com, but they are starting a local chapter here in Lexington, August 18th. We'll have the details about that with the podcast of this program. Real quick, you also have an Instagram page.
We do. Never Alone Widows Lex is our Instagram page.
All right, Never Alone Widows Lex. So check that out on Instagram. Also, you can find out more details at our website, hopeishere.today. Click on podcast, and you'll be able to find out more information how to contact Jamie or Corbett. Ladies, thank you so much for sharing your stories. Man, I'm excited to see what God's going to do. I hope you'll be praying for them. And then if you know somebody would be blessed by this ministry, share a podcast of this program with them. You can find out on our website, hopeishere.today, or whatever platforms that you listen to podcasts. For Corbett Polk and Jamie Davis, I'm Greg Horn, and this is Hope is Here.